Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News Break. It's Wednesday, June 22nd here in Korea, and I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. North Korea test-fired two mid-range ballistic missiles yet again this morning in the regime's latest act of defiance against the international community. Pyongyang has launched 6 mid-range missiles so far, and its last attempt seems to show some technological advances with its ballistic missile program. Our Connie Kim explains.
North Korea seems to be further isolating itself from the international community as the North fired 2 projectiles off its east coast that are presumed to be intermediate-range ballistic missiles. The Joint Chiefs of Staff says the first missile was fired Wednesday morning at 5:58 a.m. South Korea time from the North's Wonsan launch site, and the second at 8:04 a.m. from the same place. The first missile flew 150 kilometers before exploding in mid-air, and the second missile is believed to have flown some 400 kilometers, the furthest for a missile of this type. It is unknown whether the second missile launch was a success, and Seoul and Washington are analyzing whether it was carrying a nuclear warhead. Seoul's foreign ministry called the launches a clear violation of the latest UN Security Council resolution and a threat to peace.
South Korea condemns the missile launch and warns that North Korea will face stronger sanctions and pressure from Seoul and the international community.
North Korea has launched 4 Musudan missiles in the past 2 months, and all have ended in failure. The test-firing blitz comes after Kim Jong-un in March ordered that the military test-fire a ballistic missile topped with a nuclear warhead. The Musudan missile has a range of up to 4,000 kilometers, so it could theoretically target any location in Japan and even U.S. military bases in Guam. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
Over at the National Assembly, the co-leader of the People's Party, An Cheol-soo, addressed Parliament today, the third and final party leader to do so this week. For more, we go over to our Ji Myung-gil at the Assembly. So, Myung-gil, what did An have to say?
Hello, Taeun. The People's Party's co-leader called on the ruling and main opposition parties to cooperate in forming a parliamentary committee focused solely on job creation, and said that in order to reinvigorate Korea's sputtering economy, the Assembly has to devise measures to ensure that corporate cash reserves can flow back into the economy, either through investment, dividends, or salaries. He said with more disposable income, households would increase their spending and consumption, giving the economy a much-needed boost.
Well, it looks like lawmakers will have to come up with quite a few new measures to support his ideas. What other issues did An address?
Well, North Korea took up a big chunk of his remarks and urged the government to take a more dovish stance on inter-Korean relations. He noted that there have been no cases of a regime collapsing through external pressure or through sanctions, and stressed that dialogue and cooperation are essential to achieving a peaceful reunification, and also called on the South Korean government to lay the groundwork for future economic and cultural exchanges with North Korea once inter-Korean tensions dissipate. 다음.
Thank you, Myung-gil. Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-ahn chaired a cabinet meeting this morning as a follow-up to the government's announcement Tuesday that it was scrapping a new airport construction plan in Korea's southeast. The meeting focused on the specific details of how the Gimhae International Airport, located west of Busan, will be expanded instead. Prime Minister Hwang and related ministers agreed to build a new runway and add a new international passenger terminal so Gimhae can accommodate some 38 million passengers a year. Construction on the new additions will begin in 2021, and the government aims to complete the project by 2026. Prior to the meeting, Prime Minister Hwang had told reporters that expanding Gimhae International Airport is the most reasonable and financially viable option. He said the government's decision was based on comprehensive research on the necessary conditions for building an international airport. Leave or remain? It's a question that will shape the future of a nation and possibly the European Union. Brits will head to the polls in just about 24 hours from now to decide whether the UK stays in or withdraws from the EU. And the latest polls show it could go either way. Hwang Ho-jun has the latest.
It's a toss-up. Polls are showing that the Brexit battle is back in a deadlock, with intense personal attacks and conflicting facts muddying the increasingly heated debates. Europe's Natsen Social Research Center says the results of the referendum could still go either way, based on an average of 6 recent polls. British Prime Minister David Cameron implored citizens on Tuesday to vote to stay in the EU.
It will just be you in that polling booth, just you taking a decision that will affect your future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future.
Boris Johnson, the leader of the Leave campaign and the former mayor of London, said at a BBC-moderated debate on the same day that the Remain side is woefully underestimating the UK. He got a hearty round of applause from supporters for saying that leaving could make June 23rd the UK's Independence Day. Polling stations in the UK will be open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursday local time. The vote counting will start immediately afterward, and the world will likely know whether Britain will stay in the EU or leave it by early Friday morning. Hwang Ho-jun, ARIRANG News.
And that's all from me. Keep it tuned to Arirang for more in-depth coverage on North Korea's latest provocation and more throughout the day. Thank you for watching.